Hi guys! It's me, Bree. Welcome back to Bee Bread Games, the channel where things go wrong, which I haven't said in a while, but things went wrong because I was originally supposed to play another game, but I went and filmed the entire video and OBS scorned me. It had this glitch where because I was in full screen, it just didn't move with the game. Like, it was just filming the home screen for the entire first half of the video until I had to take it out of full screen for a mouse related problem. And then when I was done and about to start editing, I saw that it was just on the home screen for the entire first half of the video. And when I say I was pissed, but that's okay, because, you know, I'll just do that Saturday, whatever day it is. I'll start over then, but I cannot sit there and go through that dialogue and everything again because it's just going to make me angry. So instead of being angry, we're going to play a really cute game, a simple, quick, cute game that's called a Walk Down Chang'an Avenue. Yeah, a Walk Down Chang'an Avenue. It is a short one. It was created for Asia 320 Final Creative Project. I read that wrong. The Asia 320 Final Creative Project. The V felt important. But anyway, for this game, you're a university student who's suddenly isekai'd to Tang Dynasty Chang'an. Will you use your knowledge to correct historical inaccuracies, or will you make a new friend and learn something new? Take a stroll down Chang'an to find out. So yeah, this is really fun. It's gonna have like references to real tongue Chinese history. It's gonna be wholesome banter. There's 3 endings, and I am looking forward to it. Now, I really love history, especially like ancient cultures and stuff. Like, not to go on a ramble, but when I was heavy into role playing and writing and stuff, I was always doing like the absolute most research for my characters when they were set in a historical setting. Like, whether it be medieval Europe, medieval Korea, medieval China, I was researching, okay? I was going into all the details, making sure I knew how beds looked, how clothes looked, what foods were eaten, things like that. So I'm really excited, even if this is just going to be a short little adventure. Yeah, let's get into it, and let's hope it's working properly. I'm looking at OBS. I was about to say ABS. I'm looking at OBS. Let's see. Okay, perfect. I don't know. Look, let's just keep it simple because I don't feel like thinking of a name. I have a billion OCs I could have used. I could have used Roland, but I didn't. Whatever. Wake up. Just 5 more minutes. B, wake up. Huh? I've been calling you for the past 10 minutes. It's about time you woke up. Instead of the familiar wooden tables of AKB Library, I seem to be standing in the middle of a large field. Plus, the voice that's been calling to me seems to be coming from a glowing turtle. This is a really pretty background. It's so wispy. I love it. I love the art style. Yo, how'd I get here? I don't want to be locked out if I go to sleep and it's like, first ending was the bad one, you went back to sleep, blah. Last thing I remember, I was finishing my final edits for my Asia 320 paper. I must have dozed off after reading primary sources all afternoon. But that doesn't explain the very bizarre dream I'm currently having, where I'm standing in the middle of a field with a floating turtle in front of me. Hold on, floating? I should introduce myself. I am the priceless oracle bone artifact you purchased from the market yesterday, and you, mortal, may have the honor of calling me Z. Yep, looks like the earring I thrifted on a whim a day ago. Looking pleased with their introduction, the self-proclaimed artifact continued. I have chosen you to help me with a task of momentous significance. You see, I am one of the divine deities of this world. You must be familiar with the significance of us oracle bones, correct? Oracle bones. The turtle shells and animal bones used by Shang Dynasty diviners to determine the future. I think to ramble off the fact that I remembered from my lectures, but Z continues before I have the chance to speak. I have transported you to this universe because I need your help to correct some unfortunate errors that have been taking place. What a weird dream. I'm going back to sleep. Hey yo, why are you talking like some tutorial dialogue from a video game? I've definitely been reading too many novels. I can practically see the text box floating under Z narrating my thoughts. We love the little meta. Perfect. It seems like you're more familiar with the situation than I thought. Yeah, there's no way this is some novel, huh? Let me explain. The world you are in right now is a parallel universe to your own. However, this Earth is currently still in the 8th century AD. It's a special universe because events in my world are tethered to the beliefs of your world. And lately, all these popular Chinese historical dating sims have been changing the way history plays out in Imperial China. So many people have been watching period dramas, reading romance novels, and playing these dating simulators, and it's seriously messing up the proper historical narrative. I understand. And this is bad because it's changing history, girl, keep up. It's totally historically inaccurate. Princes spend all day pursuing girls with silver hair and purple eyes. Poets spend all their efforts on writing love letters. And generals only use their tactical prowess to calculate the chances they run into the boys they're smitten with. Needless to say, my world has become a totally inaccurate portrayal of Chinese history, and you're the most capable main character to help correct these errors. Well, that's true. I'm currently a 4th-year history major studying early Chinese history. In fact, I was finishing up my final paper on Tang Dynasty merchants, but how could that possibly help? How am I supposed to correct these errors? You will be teleported to 8th century China and set the proper historical narrative back on track. Your task is to fact-check any inaccuracies and make sure my world's history plays out like it's supposed to. Make sure your people don't act like love-struck fools, and absolutely make sure nobody falls in love with you. Oh no, Z, no promises on that last one, buddy. But what if I want to date them? Then, what if... But before I can finish, the earth vanishes from my feet. My protests die in my throat as I fall backwards. I hear a loud thump as my feet hit the ground. Did you feel it too? I squeeze my eyes shut and mentally prepare myself for the injury from that loud crash. Right. I don't want to keep making thump noises. That first one was weird. Wait, that rhythmic sound. The sound of drumming? Keep moving, kid. You're going to get run over if you keep daydreaming. And I am going to include the link to the document. Well, I'm not going to include the link. I'll link you to the games page. And when you go to the games page, there's a download that's a references master list. So all of the little footnote markers and stuff that you've been seeing, you guys can go look up into if you're interested. It's very cool. I love something that's actually referencing history. So fun. Keep it moving, kid. You're going to get run over if you keep daydreaming. My eyes open to another unfamiliar scene. The pastures beneath my feet have been replaced by packed earth, and I find myself standing in the middle of a crowded thoroughfare. The man who called out seems to be redirecting traffic. He looks like a guard of sorts, holding a bow in one hand and pointing toward the lively street with his other. I hurry forward before he can turn his attention back to me, catching a glimpse of a rather large ring of keys as I duck past. It seems like a potential confrontation has been averted, but more importantly, where in the world am I? The road I find myself walking down prowls forward in a long, straight path that must stretch at least 150 meters wide from side to side. Tall willow trees line both sides of the street, swaying gently to a comfortable breeze, an image of tranquility vividly contrasted by the lively streets ahead. The world around me seems engulfed in a sea of colors and sounds. While the sounds of heavy drum beats continue to fill the air, my attention is drawn to the lively exclamations around me. Pastries, Turkish pastries for sale. Xiaoming, do you remember to display the saddles as I instructed you? Hurry, let's head back inside our ward before they notice we've been gone the night. With a start, I realize I can understand the various conversations around me. While I would like to think myself Wow. Look, while we're talking about Chinese language comprehension, I can't even speak English. While I would like to think my classical Chinese language comprehension suddenly made a huge leap, it was more likely Z had something to do with this. Wait, the different dialects I hear around me, could they be different languages? My thoughts are interrupted by the laughter of children. Z got the same powers the TARDIS got, translating everything. A boy and a girl who couldn't be above the age of 6 dashed in front of me, holding what looked like paper lanterns. They suddenly turn and wave in my direction. Why is my dog barking? I hear a woman's laugh as, oh my god, a taller figure falls in step beside me. Though with their leisurely pace and plain clothing, I have no way to tell their gender. They're rowdy, but can you blame children for being excited by the Chang'an Lantern Festival? I can't speak. And you know why I can't speak? Because I just recorded 20 minutes of another game. With a friendly nod, the figure who I can only assume is the children's guardian catches up to them, ruffling the boys' hair as they point to the right side of the street. Looking up in the direction they're pointing, my eyes are greeted by the sight of a string of large paper lanterns. Look at you, your fur all puffed up. She's so mean. Perhaps a better question is, when in the world am I? Am I supposed to know this? Should I be reading that document? Stop barking. Hold on. I got distracted by both my dog and then like a work message, but I'm back. I'm back. It's Wu Zetian's reign, by the way, in case you're wondering. Yeah, the gender ambiguous figure from earlier seems to match descriptions of Wu Zetian's reign. Yeah. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing anything. I usually try to get pronunciations very correct, but a lot of stuff I like naturally do tends to be based on like phonetics and stuff like that, and like just pre-existing knowledge of the phonetic what's the word? The phonetic structure of the word and the letters chosen for the pinyin and everything like that. So sometimes it's not pronounced right, but I try my best. When women were freely able to dress in traditionally men's clothing. If what Xi said about this being a replica of history is true, the things I've seen do seem to fit the description of Tang Dynasty cosmopolitanism during Wu Zetian's reign. The vivid, lively streets filled with different. I was reading different and ethnicities at the same time. Different ethnicities, and the drum beats that signal the opening of wards, and the countless lanterns that oh my god, you guys. The situation is dire. I can't read. The countless lanterns that dot the gates. Oh my god. And I'm sitting here dabbling in the idea of narrating like audiobooks. That's crazy. It all looks like Chang'an Lunar New Year celebrations I had read about in my textbook. The descriptions seem to line up, but being here in person makes everything feel more real. Well, there is the actually being the here part. It's just that textbooks don't have a way to capture the small things in life. The small things such as conversations, smells, and these quick exchanges on the streets are often omitted. I know, and I hate it. Like, I want to know everything. I want to be in these people's skin and know everything they lived. I love history so much, you guys. Whether intentional to paint broader strokes or unintentional due to lack of information. The thought makes me a bit sad. After all, culture isn't just large festivals or events. Everyday life is equally a part of a society's culture. Yes! I'm so fascinated by everyday life. Like, going back to talking about roleplay and stuff, like, I usually prefer the plots that are just like slice of life in that given setting. So whether it's historical or futuristic or like contemporary modern day, I love to do a little slice of life, you know, living our everyday life. It's so fun for me. I think it's so charming. I have serious romanticism about the everyday life of people. And I could yap about it forever, but I won't. I shake my head and gather my thoughts. After all, I'm Well, I'm so excited to explore. I don't care about Z's assignment. That can just happen as we go. I'm just so excited. Like, when do you get the chance to see history play out around you? Regardless of these words, I should enjoy my time in such an interesting period in history that I could only read about before. It's like walking through a museum, except all the artifacts are perfectly preserved in their original condition. The streets I'm walking on are the same paths traveled by merchants and traders who have traveled hundreds of miles along the Silk Road, and the sights I'm seeing are the same scenes evoked by Tang poets. It's both exhilarating and overwhelming to be able to see so much of the world hidden away by time. Watch out! A hand suddenly grabs my own and pulls me backwards. That's not the tone I wanted. I want to redo. Watch out! Nope, it's not gonna be good. Nope, the moment's passed. Never mind. Screw it. A hand suddenly grabs me and pulls me backwards. I barely have time to process my surprise when a large horse-drawn carriage suddenly barrels past the place I was standing seconds ago. Sorry. So caught up in my thoughts, I had unknowingly wandered near the center of the avenue. Handsome stranger is so funny. Whoa, are you alright? I turn to see a young man beside me. His words are laced with concern, and his voice somewhat breathless, as if he dashed it to catch me in time. How kind. The stranger is wearing what looks like traditional Tang attire. His cloak is half tucked in, with delicate patterns on the rim that catch the sun. Though his hair is windswept, his easy smile and demeanor gives the impression that he doesn't mind. Suddenly aware that his hand is still holding onto mine, I quickly clear my throat. Ancient Chinese road rage is crazy. I'm not gonna say let go of me, he helped you. I blurt out the first words that come to mind. I hadn't even considered that horses could travel on the same streets people walked. But considering the width of the avenue and seeing how others definitely dodge hot horse-drawn carts and various large baskets, I suppose it makes sense. My eyes keep jumping ahead on words, and it's making me jumble the word I'm reading and the one I'm saying. Don't mention it. The stranger laughs and lets go of my hand. Trust me, you get used to ducking behind baskets in large crowds after a few days. That carriage, on the other hand, likely belonged to a well-to-do traveler, off to meet someone important. Or just meeting up in for a drink? Who knows? He pauses and tilts his head to the side. You don't look like you're from around here, are you? I pause. He makes a good point. I didn't think I would get isekai to another dimension wearing the clothes I picked purely for comfort. Could Z have at least given me a flashy, unnecessarily complex outfit so I could look more like a main character? Oh, I'm B. I'm a student! Is that so? Are you here in Chang'an City for the civil examination? Tell me, is it true that you can read books stored in Buddhist monasteries? What? Well, I'm a university student. Are universities even a thing in Tang China? It's like higher education. Oh no, is higher education a thing? Girl, you're already setting off butterflies you have no business releasing. You're supposed to be vague. So I guess back home I could search up those books. My worlds trail off when I see the expression on the stranger's face. You're messing with me. He puts up both hands in mock offense. I'm not interrupting. That does sound interesting. I usually ask the civil examination attendees that to tease new faces on the streets. But it sounds like you do have quite a bit of experience in this subject. I quickly think back to what I rambled. I didn't mention the internet or anything, right? Being a student, it's something I've always wanted to do myself, but let's say being a merchant makes it more difficult. Sorry, I had to infer what the word was supposed to be. Oh, I got so carried away. I didn't get to introduce myself. I'm Zhu Tian, but you can call me Tian. Hold on. If this is the Tang Dynasty, and I'm currently talking to someone living in this era... Quickly, I should try and spoil as many historical events as I could think of. It's crazy. This is the Tang Dynasty, right? Tian pauses, thinking over my choice of words. Tang Dynasty. You'd be more correct calling it Tianzhou, wouldn't you? Huh? Admittedly, I'm a bit surprised, he answered without much thought. If there's one assumption I had about Tang Dynasty common people, it's that they wouldn't be aware of the dynastic cycle. How do you know? Oh, I don't. So he's just messing with me. Don't look so upset. I mean, that I'm only repeating what I've heard. It's just the things you hear when you pay attention to conversations between higher level officials and inns and markets. And it's just the thing to keep in mind in case there's any new laws in the markets. Market? Are you a merchant? Hey, he said that. You weren't listening to my friend Tian. Full of questions, aren't you? Yeah. How do you say we walk and talk? I'm off to deliver a message and wouldn't mind the company. No way, stranger danger. Wow, are you flirting? Are we flirting right now? Oh no, that was a weird thing to ask. Should I retract my statement? Oh god, it sounded a lot smoother in my head. What that came out too direct. I don't know how people do it. Yeah. I should apologize before it's too... Huh? That's what you wanted to hear, isn't it? Why do you look like you've seen a ghost? The surprise on my face must have been evident. How the turns have tabled. Yes, and how the table turns. Oh, don't look so upset. I just think you're an interesting person. Plus, I promise I'm a good guide. So, don't work that brilliant mind of yours in a twist. I can almost hear you overthinking. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. You can see the steam coming out of your ears. This smug bastard. Fine, I'm only coming if you answer my questions. I'm a busy person. Nam papa. La 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 la. Show me your heart, yeah. Stream Lady by Yubin. She's a busy lady. You learn the streets quicker when you chat with lots of locals. I see. So that's why he had such an easy time striking up a conversation with me. In a way, it makes sense. In a city that's frequented by merchants, traders, and scholars of many different cultures and ethnicities, it would be strange not to encounter anyone new. In any case, let's get out of the way for now. I turn and look back toward the avenue, which is suddenly considerably more lively. It looks like the day is just getting started, and more people are walking down the sides of the street. The carriage seems to have stopped a few hundred meters ahead, and attendants busy themselves unloading wrapped packages. I scrunch up my face in their direction for good measure, earning a chuckle from Tian. Only if you hold my hand is diabolical. Hey, answer my questions. Answer my riddles 3, merchant boy. If you're able to keep up. A soft jingle of metal accompanies his steps as he deftly navigates the ever-growing crowds, and I look down to see a small blue charm hanging from his belt. Tian quickly guides us to a large gate that runs perpendicular to the main avenue. He greets the gatekeeper, and the older man gives him a friendly clap on the back as we pass through. In fact, Tian seems well acquainted with a number of people here. Looking closely, his outfit resembles what a majority of people are wearing. English. Well, no time like the present to ask about some of the things I've been wondering about. I was wondering... I want to know about your little charm. The charm on your belt. Is it a pouch? Oh, this? Tian gently unties the charm from a hook I didn't even notice and holds it up for me. Looking closely, it looks like a tiny beanbag with loose stitches messily sewn across the front and sides. My sister made it. It's an animal. Can you tell which one? Oh gosh. It's a chicken nugget. Well, it's blue. A fish? You actually got it right? Maybe I just don't have an eye for these things. Well, she made it blue. I see her vision. I understand the visions of a child. She told me it's a fish bag for good luck. She must have seen officials wearing them when she visited Chang'an City. And Tian says this with so much pride I can't help but smile with him. She's still a kid, but she's learning quickly. She told me she's going to sew me one that looks just like the one she saw generals wearing. But between you and me, only officials are allowed to wear these. So it kind of works out that yours is ugly. Yeah, you're an accomplice now, so better keep your mouth closed. I was wondering... What about his hair? Are you not supposed to wear a headscarf? Speaking of, how come I've seen people without the hair ornament? My preference? That was a surprisingly straightforward and simple explanation. Yeah. It's a part of the dress code if you're an official in the Imperial City, maybe. Tian points ahead. While there's less crowds on the street we were standing on, there's still many people around. But with how busy the smaller markets get with the festival and with so many foreigners in the city, it would be difficult to find a uniform dress code here. Yeah, that's fair. I love it. I love a little metropolitan area. A little melting pot area. Also, you'll be surprised how many trends are brought along in trade routes. Maybe you'll start the next trend bee. Oh gosh, I hope they don't wear what I have on. Okay, and what about your outfit? It's clean as fuck. I lean over and peek at the layers of his outfit. How many layers are you wearing? Wait, that came out weird. What's fashion like here? Tian puts a hand on his chest in mock pain. You injure me, really. To think my kindness is rewarded with judgment regarding my clothing choices. You don't need to answer. I'm messing with you. He loves to mess with you, girl. You gotta catch up. There's a lot of people who dress differently here, especially when they come from windy or colder climates. As for myself, these clothes are quite standard. You'll find most people who layer a couple of undergarments and wear a cloak or tunic over top. He points at his left sleeve, half tucked beneath a simple belt. And you can also tuck in your cloak like this. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Tian pauses and gives me a look over. Don't look. Tell me about your clothing from your home culture in return then. We continue as I tell Tian about how our world also has different clothes that quickly fall in and out of fashion. Clothing you wear for comfort and clothing for more formal occasions. It all sounds so extremely mundane, and yet Tian listens attentively, because it's so interesting. Ugh. I was wondering nothing. I learned everything. I'd pause for a moment at one of the corners as a woman with a large basket passes by with her children. How come you're answering all my questions? Isn't it weird that I'm asking these things? Tian thinks for a moment, crossing his arms and causing the charm on his belt to jingle. Because it's how I'd want to be treated. If I traveled the full length of the Silk Road one day, I'm sure I'd have questions about the world. It's been a dream of mine, one day to be able to see the cultures and origins of all the people who set foot in Chang'an City. I can't imagine my day-to-day life without seeing so many new faces everywhere I go. That reminds me, what is it that you do? He's a merchant. I thought we talked about that. You sure I'm not already talking your ear off? No, bestie. Spill it. Tell me more. In fact, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Today has been so surreal, a blend of things I learned through my textbooks and the world around me. It's a strange but exciting collision of worlds. My father is a merchant. He brings in silks that my mother weaves. This pattern here is my mother's handiwork. It looks good. Your mother's so talented. Tian points to the pattern on his collar. Upon closer inspection, the sewing really is delicate. Staying home never kept her from being a strict head of household. In fact, I've seen her scold my father for not finishing his meals. Sounds like an Asian mom. Do your mother and sister live in Chang'an City? Oh no, our home is a couple days travel from here. Since I helped my father in Chang'an, these boards have become like a second home to me. I make myself helpful in the Eastern market when he needs me. Otherwise, I pass on messages or help on odd tasks in my free time. And between you and me, I prefer it when they compensate me in foreign pastries or street food. The food during the Lantern Festival is amazing. Is it not already clear? What do you want to do? I mean, do you want to follow in your father's footsteps and continue being a merchant? Hopes and dreams. I'm pretty sure everyone has them. I wonder what Tian wants to do with his life. Is it satisfying following in his family's footsteps? If I could do anything, unbound by class or rank, I'd like to travel all the places I hear about in stories. Hey, me too! If money wasn't a problem, we're like the same person, Tian. Don't get me wrong, I love my father's work. I can talk to people from different backgrounds, see bits and pieces of different cultures, but you want the whole pie. I get it. But I want to imagine what it's like to live through it myself. Meet people and listen to their stories. You're awfully quiet. Have something on your mind? No, bestie, I'm just relating. How can I not? I woke up today expecting to bury my head in textbooks all day, but instead I've been teleported to the Tang Dynasty Chang'an Street and actually got to talk to someone living in this time period. and the conversation has been both extremely eye-opening and yet surprisingly average at the same time. I'm just realizing there's a lot missing in the historical narrative I've learned. The thought wasn't some groundbreaking discovery. In fact, it's one of the first things I learned as a history student. However, standing in the very streets, hearing the same sounds, living through the same day-to-day as someone in Tang Dynasty, makes me realize how much my textbooks are missing out on. My thoughts are interrupted as Tian suddenly stops in front of a large gate that connects a 2-story building. Well, looks like you struck by all the way to my destination. Hey, how about I deliver this message and we keep talking on your way back? I think I got a couple of questions for you as well. You could have jumped in any time. That was a roundabout way to ask me on a date. Yeah, I'm not listening to you. I'm flirting. I can't help it. I didn't expect this to take any effect, but this time it looks like I got him. Yeah, I guess it was. He didn't deny it? Before my brain can fully short-circuit, Tian continues. I'll be right back. You wait for me down here, right? Yeah, how else am I supposed to find my way back from where we came? Tian laughs, and I realize just now that during our entire trip over, he's always had a smile on his face. I wonder how he can be so friendly to everyone he meets. I wonder how he so easily charms people with his easy demeanor. Before Tian runs up the steps, he suddenly turns and calls out toward me. Oh, and if anyone asks if you're waiting for someone, my name is Zhou Tian. Yay! Good end. Second date. Well, that was a walk down Chang'an Avenue. It was really good. Really cute. Playing short games is so bittersweet for me. Abby wants so much more. I want to stay in the world for even longer. And I get sad when it's over. So I'm sad now, but very happy that I played it. Very happy for our annoying little accident. Happy accidents, happy accidents. So I guess I'll be attempting once again to play Under Our New Moon. Wait, what's it called? Yeah, Under Your Moon. I'll attempt to play that again next time I film. But thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, etc. Whatever. And I hope you have a great day. Bye!